Alrighty guys, we're back for some Naya Super Friends, and this is a Dominaria United Standard Brew. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well. So I hope that sounds fun to you guys. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you want to join that up. I highly recommend it. What do we got in the build here, guys? Well, we got 4 Ascendant Packleaders as well as a single Luxior here on the front end of the build. Packleader is going to work well because we have a ton of spells in here that are 4 mana or more. And then, of course, if it enters later on, it'll enter with that counter as long as we have a permanent with mana value 4 or greater. So, yeah, it's going to be perfect in here. And it's a wolf, which is going to be important. Luxior happens to work well with Planeswalkers, which could be pretty cool. It might be a little bit janky, but in this particular build, there's actually a bunch of other creatures in here that get counters. Actually, let's go over this real quick. We don't get to see it too often. It is a 1-mana legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each counter on it. Yeah. Equipped creature, or equipped permanent, isn't a Planeswalker and is a creature in addition to its other types. Loyalty abilities can still be activated. You can equip Planeswalker for 1 mana, and you can equip anything for 3, so pretty cool. We got 3 Fateful Absence, just perfect removal for a build like this, you know? We got 3 Outland Liberators. There's a ton of cards that Liberator can hit. Being a werewolf in this build is going to come in handy too, so also when it actually transforms into the Frenzied Trapbreaker at nighttime. Frenzied Trapbreaker is just disgusting, especially if you have a couple of them out there. It just tears apart some decks. So when it attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls. Nice. And there are going to be moments where you actually do, for the Outland Liberator, just pay the 1 mana, sack it, destroy target or enchantment, because there's actually just a lot of great ones to hit. So we got 4 Packsong Pups at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you control a wolf or werewolf, put a +1/+1 counter on Packsong Pup. So cool. Works with the Luxior too. When it dies, you gain life equal to its power. Now that is really, really good. There are a ton of very aggressive decks from mono red to Gruul. We're still seeing some mono white aggro, still seeing some mono black aggro, even though most of those are mid-range now. Just the life gain on Pup seems really good. We got 4 Brutal Cathars for more removal in this particular build, and it's a werewolf. We got 2 Primal Adversaries here too. Another wolf. It is a 3 mana 4/3 with trample. When it enters the battlefield, you get to pay 1 and a green any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put a +1/+1 counter on Primal Adversary. Then up to that many target lands you control become 3/3 wolf creatures with haste and are still lands. Pretty powerful card that we don't get to see too often. Now, in this build, we do have 27 lands. Oh my goodness, if I don't see mana today, then I suppose it is unlucky. Or maybe we'll talk about going up to 28, because the top end of this build, man, has a ton of cards. Look at this average, 2.9. Actually, not as high as I thought. I thought it would be over 3, but yeah, 2.9 average. Let's go over the Planeswalkers, guys. We got 3 Wandering Emperors, a very powerful Planeswalker that can generate some Samurai for us, that can put +1/+1 counters on some of our creatures for us. So the Luxior seems really cool in here, doesn't it? There's just so many different counters, or ways to give counters, right? Then, of course, the -2 will save our butt a few times. We got 3 Arlinn, the Pack's Hope. So a 4 mana 4 loyalty Planeswalker with Daybound, Nightbound. On the Daybound side, you get that +1 ability where until your next turn, you may cast spells as though they had flash. And each creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. So those creatures don't have to be cast. So it specifically says each creature you control enters the battlefield. So I'm pretty sure that means you could do things like -1 the Wandering Emperor, and then your Samurai would come out as a 3/3 Vigilance because it'll get the counter from the Pack's Hopes +1. So that's pretty cool. Also has a -3 on here too, where you get to create 2 2/2 green wolf creature tokens. Nice, very cool. On the night side of this, you can power this up to be a 5/5 werewolf creature with trample, indestructible, and haste. Or you can just +2 it and get a red and a green, which could actually do something in this particular build. We'll see though. We got a couple Ajani sleeper agents here. So 4 mana, 4 loyalty planeswalker with completed. So you don't have to pay the 4 mana. So if you pay 3 mana and 2 life, then this enters with 2 fewer loyalty abilities. So it'll come out with 2 loyalty instead. I wonder how often we'll actually use this completed ability, honestly. Anyways, what this card does is you get to +1, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker card, put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may put it on the bottom of your library. This is going to hit a ton of different cards. The only cards this doesn't hit are the Luxior, the Fateful Absence, and another card we're about to go over as well. So, oh, and land too. So we will probably miss with the +1 quite a few times, but there's still a ton of cards to hit with it. Now the -3 is pretty powerful. Distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among up to 3 target creatures. They gain vigilance until end of turn. Yeah, I like the -3, guys. It's too bad it wasn't like a -2 or something, but either way, I think it's pretty cool. Has a -6 ability on here too, where you get an emblem with whenever you cast a creature or planeswalker spell, target opponent gets 2 poison counters. I don't know how often that's going to come into play, but you never know. On the top end of the build here, guys, we got a couple Elspeth Resplendents. There are a ton of great cards to hit off of that -3. For example, you could -3 and search for removal like Brutal Cathar, so that could be really cool. The +1 ability gives us more counters and a counter from among Flying, First Strike, Lifelink, or Vigilance too, so that of course works really well with the Luxior as well. Just another Planeswalker. We have 10 total Planeswalkers in the build. There they are, guys. There they are. Very cool, very powerful. 10 cards out of 60 cards. That's a lot of Planeswalkers. We'll see if it's any good. We got 2. Urza assembles the Titans, so this is pretty sick. 5 mana, that's a lot of mana, but it's still a really cool card. It does have read ahead, so you get to choose what chapter this starts on. For the first chapter, you get to scry 4. Then you may reveal the top card of your library. If a planeswalker card is revealed this way, put it into your hand. Cool. I don't know how often you actually just skip that ability, but I think you're going to be able to find a planeswalker often. Like a scry 4 that's a lot of cards, honestly, so I think you'll be able to hit a planeswalker with that. But again, I don't know how often you just read ahead on this. So chapter 2, you may put a planeswalker card with mana value 6 or less from your hand onto the battlefield. So that's any of our planeswalkers in this deck. Is that worth it, right? You spend 5 mana on Urza Assembles the Titans just to play like your Ajani from your hand or something? Maybe. That's why I think we do actually go for all the chapters on this when we play it, but it's going to depend. So the final chapter is really cool. You may activate the loyalty abilities of planeswalkers you control twice this turn rather than only once. That is sick, guys. That is so cool. So you can do things like plus the Arlinn and then -3 the Arlinn. So you get 2 green wolves, but they both enter with those counters. And then like activating an Elspeth ability twice, it could be just absolutely broken by giving your like Primal Adversary or your Packsong Pup, like give them both flying and a +1/+1 counter or something like that, right? Just activating planeswalker abilities twice, that is so cool. Activate Ajani's ability twice. Now next turn you can always -6, especially in like a locked down board state. That could go a very long way. Only a couple of them though. I actually have 4 of these, cracked them right out of packs, and I don't think it would be worth having 4 of them in here though. So we'll see, man. Yeah, something I don't think I went over is that +1 ability on Arlinn happens to work perfect with like just like you get to keep so much open, keeping like Wandering Emperor open, because you get to cast creature spells as though they had flash. So you could keep a Wandering Emperor open, and you could keep like a Brutal Cathar open too with the Arlinn's +1. So there's like just a lot going on here. Also, it makes it a little easier to get to nighttime. We don't have too much that deals with nighttime except for Arlinn and the Liberator, and that's okay. That leads me to my honorable mentions over here. I really considered Tovolar and just going further, leaning further into the whole wolf side of things, but then I decided not to, and maybe we could do that in a future build as well. We actually did that for before rotation happened. We had a Naya werewolf build with like the whole Wandering Emperor and stuff, but I don't know. It depends. This is just something to think about. Urloon Battlehem could be a cool card in this particular build, but I think 3 Fateful Absence is going to get the job done for now, hopefully. I originally had 2 Fateful Absence and an Urloon to help us gain life, but I think we'll be fine. We'll see. Depopulate could be really cool in a deck like this because we're able to reestablish a board state quite well between the Emperor and the Arlinn and the Elspeth, honestly. So it's something to think about because a Depopulate could also kill your Packsong Pup, which could gain you life too, but also it kills the Brutal Cathar as well, which gives your opponent some creatures back. So just something to consider. Renin 7, I did originally have Renin 7 in here. I found that it wasn't worth it in this particular build, maybe in a future Super Friends deck. Vivian could be really cool too, and going a turn 5 Urza and reading ahead to the chapter 2 and just dropping Vivian could be freaking awesome. Also, the -1 to create rhinos is actually pretty ridiculous, so definitely something to consider. And then I have a mountain over here because I was deciding how to put together this mana base, but hopefully I landed on something well with the mana base. We do have Blossoming Sands in here too. We don't worry too much about the tapped lands. The life gain on this could do a lot too. Only 3 Jetmir's Garden because we're really only splashing red for the Arlinn here, and we also have the splash of red for Crucible of Defiance if we want to activate this for the token. So yeah, that's that, guys. I definitely took a second to go over it. Hopefully I went over it well enough. Either way, let's go ahead, take it into some ranked and see how we do. All right, so far, while recording today, the matches have not taken long at all, so we'll see if we can get right into the first game here. Not bad, 10 seconds. Not bad at all. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Please just, don't be mono black. Just this one time. Okay, all right, good. Some Rakdos instead. Oh, why did I keep this? Oh, we only have 2 land. Oh, no, there's 27 land in the deck, though. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Everything's fine. For anyone who's been watching the last couple weeks of videos, though, I think we know what's about to happen. Oh. Come on, land. Come on, man. Yes. Yes, okay. Brutal Cathar can hit the squee, but we got Mardu from the opponent over here. Brutal Cathar could just hit the goblin and block the squee. That's probably better. You get another goblin. Primal Adversary also just blocks. Let's get the adversary down. We'll save Cathar for now. Yeah, we have all of our 5 drops in our hand here, so that seems about right. I should have mulliganed. I don't know why I just spam clicked the keep with the 2 mana when we have a very, very expensive deck. Wedding Announcement's pretty rough. I guess we'll get Cathar down and not worry too much about it, especially when we can get it to nighttime soon enough. Packleader's fine too. 27 land total in the deck, guys, so we're rocking 24 total more land. So we'll definitely see the mana. Will we survive long enough? I can't believe we have all 4 of our 5 drops in our hand. I mean, I believe it, but Switch to nighttime could be good. Okay. Wonder if they double block here. I think they take the 4. Nice, down to 12. Get to nighttime. Yeah, because if they switch it back to day, we can start to gobble up more of these tokens. Especially this Goblin Shaman needs to go. So far, I'm happy that we were able to get this far. The duress early game taking out the Arlinn kind of stopped this entire turn. So I think we go right into the Urza and then slam Elspeth. Although there's still a ton of Planeswalkers to hit off of the Urza too. I think the double Elspeth play... oh, second wedding announcement. Nice. So no swings, but it's not... There we go. Not daytime yet, and we can't switch it either. Is it Urza slam Elspeth? Because we have the second Urza too. Urza assembles the Titans is the full name here. We could get some air damage in. Opponent's board is pretty scary. So next turn we get to activate the Elspeth twice, which might mean they end up... So get some air damage here, or we could go lifelink too. But I'm going to keep the Moonrage Brute back as a blocker since it has first strike. They have simple removal though. They would need a lot more extra damage too. They could bring Squee back soon. Let's go damage. Let's do it. Because they might target the Elspeth. Let's do it, guys. And then if they don't target Elspeth, Urza lets us activate the Elspeth's ability twice. We can do that twice and then play our other Elspeth. So they might need to win now or remove both of our creatures and kill the Elspeth too. Like, they won't target our face because we can -3 and then -3 find more creatures and then play our second Elspeth too. I don't know, man. I'm pleased. I'm glad we actually saw the mana. I guess we just need to play 27 mana in our other builds too. Don't actually do that. That's a terrible idea. The number of times we flood out with 23 mana is insane. We might be able to play 2 cards too. See, if they play 2 cards, then our Moonrage Brute is flipping. If they target Moonrage Brute at all, so they are going for that Elspeth. So we can't save the Elspeth, so we might as well first strike kill this Goblin. Oh. Unless they have Seat of Eiganjo, or whatever it's called. They take the 3, take out Brute. Elspeth's dead regardless. Let's let this happen. They don't take out the Brute. Elspeth is a goner. We play the other Elspeth. And we can give this Brute flying and maybe the Archangel, huh? What do you hit here? You gonna double down on the Adversary? Oh, this has lifelink too. Oh, that is awful, guys. Oh, I can't imagine a better... I can't imagine a better play for the opponent. Oh, that's really bad. So we're gonna flip, we're gonna take Archangel, I guess, but then Brutal Cathar is just like open. It is open and in danger. We'll go Packleader. Elspeth. We could go +1. We do get a good swing here if we go flying. If we go +1/+1, they probably take out the Elspeth again. See, like, the -3 on here is so tempting. But do we just go for the swing? Yeah, the lifelink on this is nasty. They probably just keep it alive, go for the Elspeth. We have the other Urza. Uh-oh, guys. Uh-oh. I think the Archangel is going to pull this back for the opponent. So we're going to have to grab it with the Brute. Or with the Brutal Cathar. All right. Let's go flying. Put all of our eggs into one basket here. Lifelink or Vigilance? We're at 16. I'm gonna go Lifelink. They have Lifelink. We'll go Lifelink too. Okay, down to 6. We're up to 21, and we take the Archangel, and Brutal Cathar, man, is probably just gonna get gobbled up here. Copy. Destroy Evil. Yeah. Like I said, it's probably gonna get gobbled up. Our Elspeth is a goner. They're gonna gain 4. They're gonna be back up to 11 here. Wait, where'd they gain? Oh, Reflection on the Archangel. Dude, the opponent's deck is so cool. Okay, we're goners. I'm gonna take all this damage. The opponent's going way back up to 15. Urza Assembles the Titans isn't gonna do much against this. I guess it's the opponents, and we're gonna let them play this out because it is sick, guys. And we're just gonna start right at the top of the Urza and grab a Wandering Emperor. Actually, guys, I'm gonna keep both. Wow, the Fateful Absence is good too. How do I want to do this? I think we're dead regardless. We get to slam Wandering Emperor next turn, and then we draw the Fateful Absence. Although we could always go -2 the Angel after their swing. Do I want the double Emperors? I guess. It's awkward. I don't really know. Oh, we're probably gonna die from the yeah, the wedding announcement's buffing everything anyways. Yeah, I think we're just dead. If we kept Fateful Absence on top, you don't get to put the card into your hand unless it's a Planeswalker. Hey, Arlinn, nice. Yeah, GG opponent. Their deck looked really cool. That looked awesome. All right, let's hop right into the next game, and if we only see 2 mana in our opening hand, we won't keep it unless like all the cards in our hand are playable or something like that. That's the plan, at least. We'll see if it ends up working out, I suppose. All right. What are you bringing to the table, opponent? The last deck was terrifying. That Angel was insane. There we go. This is much better. Okay. Excellent hand, guys. This is how we do it. This is how we actually keep hands. Probably even just wait for a turn 2 pack leader and keep the Who Endures. Yeah, especially since we drew a garden. We'll definitely do it that way. It's funny because we eventually saw the land in the last game, so we eventually were fine. It's just a very expensive hand, all in all. Seeing all of our 5 mana cards was a lot. And so we didn't have any speed. Okay, so we'll just go Sundown Pass, get the pack leader down, and we might block Underdog, but I don't think so. I think pack leader has a really good chance to buff above and beyond in a build like this. Turn 3 Adversary, turn 4 Ajani, and then -3 the Ajani to buff both Adversary and the pack leader is actually pretty solid, isn't it? Okay, opponent playing Esper. There's a wedding announcement. So Who Endures can take care of the announcement, but then they get a little bit of ramp from that. Is it worth it? It might be. It might be worth it. I might just stick to my original plan here too. What's a couple 1/1s, right? Where ramping the opponent seems particularly bad. Outland Liberator can also just take care of it too. That's a great draw, actually. Wow. It's a terrific draw. We could hold off on Adversary, power up some lands later on, keep Liberator open for now. Do we? Yeah, we're gonna keep it open for now. It doesn't say activate only as a sorcery. Let's see. Let's see. Let's just hold on for a second here. Because they could drop their 4th and then just pass turn and then, uh-oh, it's nighttime, right? And then we can swing in, take care of that wedding announcement that way. But then it could be like a Wandering Emperor or something too, so we'll see. We'll see. We're going to take that. Because again, this is actually a good block. We could block here, sacrifice. We won't take the 3. We get to take care of wedding announcement. But I'm just going to hold off, especially they could have an Urtai in hand too. Wait, I'm blanking on exactly all of Urtai's abilities right now. Crap, I got to go read that card again. But yeah, they're going to pass it to nighttime. So that ends up working out quite nicely. Arlinn is a huge draw here. Wow. So I wonder if they just hit the Arlinn with the Wandering Emperor then. Probably. So Ajani could be good. Trapbreaker takes out Announcement, and then they hit 1, 2. I'm trying to figure out exactly what we want to do here. Trample Indestructible Haste. They might let us keep the Trapbreaker if the Arlinn hits. But Arlinn's so good that I really don't want to just lose it. They might double block into Packleader. Let's see. We might be playing around a card that isn't in the opponent's hand too. Like this could easily just be like a Make Disappear or something, you know? It is a Disdainful Stroke. Nice. Well, we have good news. We get to hit that announcement and we don't have to worry about a Wandering Emperor. And I'm okay with the double block into Packleader. Well, maybe I'm not, because we had the Ajani to buff it. A double block into Packleader kind of just erases the entire concept of them having an announcement. Which is actually just not terrible, because we have great value over here. We get to keep the Trapbreaker. We have 4 cards. They have 4 cards. Yeah. Not too bad. I'm okay with that trade. We could have kept it back, though, for the buff on the Ajani, but we also have to consider opponents just, like, removal as well, so. Okay, we have enough mana to power up a land if we want. But it won't get a chance to swing this turn. Let's go attempt the Ajani here. And that is fine. Double green. Keep the garden open. Well, that landed right away, so. Yeah, let's go searching, huh? Brutal Cathar, nice. Trapbreaker is not going to swing into an underdog. And opponent draws. Okay. The Brutal Cathar is pretty good to hit with the Ajani. They do swing at Ajani here, and we let the Ajani take the damage. Keeping Trapbreaker is pretty good. So, we go plus on Ajani first before anything else, because we can't -3. Urza assembles the Titans. Yeah, I'll keep that on top. We're gonna go. This gives us the 6. We can swing with a land if we do it this way. But then the Ajani probably dies. So Brutal Cathar. And keep the Who Endures open is probably better. Oh, we could start with a swing too. There's actually a lot of things to consider here, because we could swing with a land. I'm going to start with a swing and see if a Wandering Emperor comes into play. It does not. So let's gobble up the underdog. It's nighttime, guys. You know what? I might just get Adversary down. Since, like, all of these are hitting the board. There we go. There we go. Now we gobble it up. Yeah, like that's pretty solid. Like, it's a good line of play. We can always -3 the Ajani next turn. They go for a cycle here. They might switch it back to nighttime too, which would be really bad for them. Because Brutal Cathar and Liberator get a little bit of a buff. Okay, they go Bank Buster. Yeah, GG opponent, wow. Guys, did I play 3 games already? Am I crazy? Why do I feel like... I don't remember this first game. Was that a test match? That might have been a test match that I don't remember right now. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, man. I don't like to use excuses, but I guess there's been a bit of a busy time in my life, so it's hard to keep track of some things sometimes. I apologize. I'll go back and watch the video, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, we played that guy. I completely forgot about that. That's pretty funny, though. I think that was a test match, though. Look, we're splashing red for Arlinn. We'll get there. We're fine. Like, the hand overall is 100% okay. A turn 1... Oh! Nope. Yeah, we still go Blossoming Sands. We could have went Packleader right away. Oh. Gala Greeters. It's been a second. Okay. Blossoming Sands. Liberator could have been cool there too. But the Sands come out tapped regardless, so you want to get that down. Wow, really? Another wedding announcement? All of the opponents have had the announcement in their build so far. Excuse me, guys. We get Brutal Cathar take the Greeter, but getting Liberator down as soon as possible is good too. Urza's not a bad draw there because it does let us get Arlinn down without the red source. The Empire's good. I think Brutal Cathar makes the most sense. Maybe just gobble up the Gala Greeters. See, the problem is they're ramping too. Alright, I guess we'll go... What could it be for 4 mana? Liberator and keep it open. I think that's the best play here. End the turn. That's tough though. It's like a lot of options. We got to consider our later turns. We don't have our turn 4 until we see a red source, and so next turn we might just have to keep Seat of the Empire open, but also on our turn 4 we could just go for the Brutal Cathar now, or we could switch it to nighttime, get this Trap Breaker going. Shauna, Purifying Blade. Okay, do we hit the wedding announcement? Don't think so. I don't think so. Let's see if what they do here. Because they didn't even go to combat yet. They didn't grab counter, so they're not going to swing there. They're going to get the +1 no matter what. Yeah, we're just going to save Liberator back. Same as last game. Plus, we'd want to do it before this was on the stack too, so... a little bit too late now. Tough decisions, guys. The big thing here is I don't want to lose a Liberator that could end up taking out multiple wedding announcements, you know? And so, okay, Fateful Absence takes care of the Shauna. That's good. That is good news. Could keep that open. We switch it to nighttime. Could play Brutal Cathar, take the Gala Greeters too, because they're getting a lot of benefits out of these Gala Greeters. I think I'd rather hit the Shauna and see what they swing in with. This is tough, man. The cards aren't really lining up this time round, or the mana. The mana's not really lining up. So we have Trap Breaker, which can swing in, gobble up the announcement next turn. Fateful Absence is open along with the Seat of the Empire. But we need the seat to play Urza if we don't see a land, so... It's a fairy. Cool. Very cool. So they're gonna get to activate it. I don't think that's the target with the Fateful Absence. I still think it's the Shauna here. tap down Frenzied Trapbreaker so they can swing. They gain 2 life. Here comes the swing. Just with Shauna, huh? They have 2 mana open. I'll tell you what. Seat of the Empire makes more sense so it can't get countered, but if they counter the Fateful Absence, okay. Yeah, not bad. Get the swing with Frenzied Trapbreaker next turn. Oh, no, they're switching it back to daytime. Crap. We can still take care of Wedding Announcement before they get the token. They are switching it back to daytime here, guys. All right, fine. Fine. I guess it sucks, but Galagreeters. Dennick's a great card to hit with the Brutal Cathar, probably. But it's probably Urza. Urza, read ahead, drop Arlinn, get a couple wolves down, but then they probably full swing at Arlinn. Man, there are some seriously tough decisions here. I'm gonna go Urza. We're gonna read ahead here. And we'll see if the full swing comes at the Arlinn. Couple wolves, because they might not full swing here, guys. They lose a lot of cards if they full swing. They get to tap down one of our creatures if they wanted to, though. We'll see what happens. We have a ton of Planeswalkers that we can draw off the top for the Assembles the Titans to work, too. So the main reason we had to go Urza is because we didn't see that red source this game for the splash of Arlinn, right? So, other words, maybe it would have just been Packleader into Arlinn. So here is, if they full swing at Arlinn, first of all, we're not taking damage. We get to double block Dennick, which is sweet. Oh, wait a minute, though. Hitting Galagreeters is pretty nasty, too. Dennick is a problem, but is it as big of a problem as Galagreeters has been this whole game? Probably not, and plus a double block into Dennick means we lose a wolf, too. And they want to take out the Arlinn because they don't want us to be able to use our Planeswalker abilities twice. But Arlinn's the only Planeswalker we saw, which means we have 9 Planeswalkers left in the deck. 48 cards remaining over there, so a pretty solid chance to draw one. I don't even think it'd be considered luck at that point. Uh-oh, they gained 2 here. That's so bad. Oh, they gained 4 because of the Teferi. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, the opponents are bringing all the cool decks, man. No Planeswalkers. That's okay. It was, I guess, pretty risky of a play to do that. So we can take Shauna and then full swing it to Teferi, take that out. That's pretty good. No, is it nighttime? No, it's not nighttime. Okay, whew. Had to double check there. I think playing Crucible as a land is fine too. Which we're probably going to do here. Get that Teferi out of here. Do we play everything? Yeah, we might as well. We might as well, guys. They drew 4 cards off of the Shauna here. That's actually insane. That's a reason to play Bant, guys. Wow. Overall, I think I could have probably found better ways to play against this, too. See if we draw something valuable here, because we have a good chance of just drawing land, too. Running 7 is pretty good. That is pretty good. I wonder if the double block into the Dennick would have been any better, though, because, again, this has the Disturb, too, so... They decide to keep Dennick back. Wandering Emperor. Now that is a draw, guys. If we would have seen that last turn with the Urza Assembles the Titans, that would have been nasty. Was there Shauna tapped down, though? No, I don't think it was. Still would have been a really cool draw. Pack leaders both get buffed by this. I would hate to see the Brutal Cathar die, but it is about to get a ward cost that they don't care about. I suppose they're at 26, so go no attacks. End turn. Switches to nighttime. Go for the clue here. They are stacked with cards in their hand, guys. This could be anything. This could be anything. They go for 0. Let's see how many they hit here. Oh, only the 2, really? Oh, and then they play the 3rd one. Okay. So they still have 4 cards in hand. Looking at their seat, I wonder if they have 2 of them. Let's do it. Wandering Emperor. Buff both pack leaders. We have 2 open for like a make disappear, but they have the 1/1. And then we don't have 4 open, so it lands. Oh, -2. We could also chump this. We could also just chump here. We don't know what's in hand, though. I think we should kill this, right? Right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. I think that's fine. I think I'm overthinking it a little bit here. We just have so many creatures on the board that it's like, it's something to consider, I suppose. I'd love it to go back to nighttime. First strike here. If we get a creature in combat and it is a second seat of the Empire, then they could easily hit this Moonrage Brute. So it'd be much better to swing with like a pack leader to take out the Wrenn before it gets there. Giving one first strike's pretty good too. We'll go ahead, buff this pack leader. We'll keep these 2 wolves back for now. We'll wait till our second main phase to play the farmland. So the first strike one is going to attack the Wrenn and 7. Then the main one's going to attack face. We're going to keep the 2 chump blockers and the brute back. I think the biggest thing here is target. Okay, so they have their own Wandering Emperor. So take out this pack leader. And then take the 4 to face. They save the Wrenn and 7 for a plus, but they don't get the -3 yet, so we're fine. Oh, that's much cooler, because now you can block the one without first strike. I didn't even think of that opponent. That was very cool. Very cool. All right. I think it's leaning towards the opponent since they had so many draws off of the Shauna. But at the same time, it'd be awesome to flip this brute. It'd be awesome to get to daytime, but they're going to do their best to just not allow that. Second wedding announcement hits the board. Workshop is going to be blitzed on in here. This has trample too, right? Sure does. Probably swing right at the Wandering Emperor so we can't -2 the Denic. We double block the Denic though. Yeah, they didn't plus the Wrenn yet. There they go. Got 1 land to hand. I love the opponent's decks today, guys. Very awesome games. Very cool. I hope I played this deck well enough, honestly. I've been wanting to do a Super Friends deck for quite a while, but it's always like a little bit out of my comfort zone. While the opponent thinks here, guys, I'm going to get a quick drink of my coffee. Oh, quick drink. The coffee got cold. I just chugged it. Oh no. Okay. Double block Denic. Let Wandering Emperor die. They get a 4/4 back. Did they play 2 cards this turn? No, I don't think so. Gobbling up the 4/4 off the War Chief is pretty good. They gain 3 here, back up to 37. This one's leaning towards the opponent, guys, and if it ends up going a little bit too long, we'll definitely just give it to them. But at the same time, we've been doing pretty well overall. Okay, they get a draw off that. They get a 4/4 off of the War Chief. We get to gobble that up. They did play 2 cards. Nice. All right, sweet. So back to daytime here. We get to take out the Emperor and bring Ren and 7 down to 1. Arlinn's pretty solid, guys. Getting a couple 2/2s off of that is pretty good. Let's start with the swings here. They have one open. If it's like a Fading Hope, then uh-oh. Nice. Good hits. Arlinn comes down. We actually have the red mana for it this time around. We go -3. We're holding our own overall, guys, but the card draw in the opponent's deck is terrifying. Lots and lots of card draw for the opponent. Where card draw for us is based on Ajani. It's based on Urza's Urza Assembles the Titans, and it's based on the Elspeth -3 as well. So not like the Ajani +1, the Urza first chapter, and then the Elspeth -3. We don't have too many other card draw options in this particular build, so they saved the War Chief back this time, and we, like I said, we don't have too many great draws. I'm surprised this Cathar has lasted this long. Well, never mind. Cathar is out of here. Shauna's going to hit their board. They get to draw another 3, and this has to be the opponent's. I would be shocked. The way they're able to sustain themselves, it's such a cool build, guys. I did put together a Shauna deck not too long ago. I didn't get a chance to showcase it. It doesn't look this cool at all, though. It doesn't look this cool even a little bit. Let's go ahead. Let's give it to the opponent, guys, because it's probably still going to take a while for them to get damage through. And we're 46 minutes in. Yeah, let's drop the good game. Let's drop our favorite emote to make it worth it. And we'll give it to them. 50% total win rate. And I gotta be real with you guys. I don't know if that first victory was in the video or not, or if that was a past test match that I tried. Either way, if I'm not complaining about it, then it's probably the exact same version of the deck. So that's good news, at least, right? Either way, let's go check this out again. Okay, right. So here's the deck list, guys. What would we add or take out? Okay, I guess a big thing here, right? Especially in that last game, it was mid-range versus mid-range, and what did they have? A lot of card draw. But it kind of looked like that's how the deck was meant to be put together, right? To always have cards stacked in the hand. The Shaunas drew a bunch of cards. The Wedding Announcements drew them a bunch of cards as well. They had powerful Planeswalkers from Wandering Emperor to Ren and 7. Ah, the deck was so cool. All the opponent's decks today was, like, I thoroughly enjoyed my time over in Ranked this evening, so that's good. Urza Assembles the Titans was pretty cool. It's a little underwhelming, I suppose, overall, but it's pretty cool. I think the 10 Planeswalkers is enough to warrant the Urza Assembles the Titans, but if we go up more Planeswalkers, it might get a little better. Primal Adversary was sick. Packsong Pup. The whole, like, werewolf side of things and this early side of the game is actually just really powerful. Liberator happens to be a great card, too, right now. We didn't get to see the Luxior at all, which kind of sucks, but that's fine. Something to consider is to just find other removal other than Brutal Cathar, but I think it might be detrimental overall, especially if you want to go turn 2 Packsong Pup into the turn 4 Brutal Cathar, then the Packsong Pup can actually start to get counters, and it starts to be a little bit more aggressive here on the front of the build. Arlinn was sick, the Ajani was actually really cool, Wandering Emperor obviously, and yeah, I actually really enjoyed the deck. I think more testing's required. I think against like more meta builds, we'd actually do better, as weird as that sounds, because I am building everything around the fact that we're going to have to go up against mono black or mono blue or mono red or anything like that. And so whenever I put together a deck right now, I'm trying to think like, oh, what would be a good card to sacrifice to Liliana? Well, maybe a Packsong Pup, or maybe we don't need that extra Liberator. Or the fact that we can get a couple wolves off of Arlinn goes a long way too. And then, you know, we're also considering, well, how do we survive against the onslaught of aggressive red? Well, the Packsong Pup life gain, for example, or just taking out a Raiju with a Brutal Cathar, or just the fact that Adversary is just a terrific blocker that blocks into a bunch of different things, and Wandering Emperor gains us life too. And so we were kind of up against like non-meta builds, and yeah, for some reason, I think we would have done better against the actual meta, as scary as it actually is right now. Something to note is the Blossoming Sands didn't really get in our way. It doesn't matter if we slow down the deck, because technically as time goes on, we're supposed to be the ones generating more value than the opponents. And so it's okay to miss a turn one and get the Blossoming Sands down, or the Jetmir's Garden, for example. So overall, I really enjoyed the deck. The splash of red technically should have been enough for the to get the Arlinn, but we also could have mulliganed in that last game too. Here's all the red sources in the mana base, and then if you don't see the red sources, of course you can do what we did there too, and have the Urza assembles the Titans get the Arlinn on the board for you. So yeah, I actually really liked this one, guys. I said it's out of my comfort zone a little bit, but the more I play mid-range, the more I like mid-range. You know what I mean? And maybe it just happens to be the meta right now too. It's nice to just not always play like the same style all the time, you know? So either way, guys, if you made it this far into the video, then y'all are champions, and I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.